Hello all, this is Preeti Kedari, Assistant Professor in Electronics, Arihant College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Pune. Today we are going to see the course that is Semiconductor Devices and Basic Electronic Systems. Chapter number 1, Semiconductor Diodes, and today's topic is PN junction diode. In the last presentation, we have already seen the different types of semiconductors. We have seen intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, as well as we have seen the p-type semiconductor, n-type semiconductor, and how they are formed. So in continuation with that, now we have the p-type semiconductor, we have n-type of semiconductor, then we need to study now the p-n junction. The agenda of today's presentation is formation of p-n junction, rectifier diode, operating principle of a diode in forward bias as well as in reverse bias, and IV characteristics of a diode. First of all, we will see the formation of p-n junction. We will see what exactly PN junction diode means. So, a PN junction diode is a basic semiconductor device that controls the flow of electric current in a circuit. It has P and N regions. To make a PN junction diode, a different, that is trivalent and pentavalent impurity is added to each side of silicon semiconductor to change the polarity. So here we have seen that how the n-type and p-type semiconductors are formed. So p-type semiconductors are formed when trivalent impurities are added into it, and n-type semiconductors are formed when pentavalent impurities are added into it. So after addition of these impurities into the silicon semiconductor, we have seen the polarity is changed, because whenever we are doping the trivalent impurity into the silicon crystal, so as we have seen, the silicon has valency is equal to 4, that is any semiconductor is having valency is equal to 4, and if we dope trivalent impurity into it which is having 3 valency, so there will be only one electron which is left into the silicon and one hole will be created, whereas in pentavalent impurity we will be having 5 electrons and we will get one extra electron for the current flow. So formation of PN junction. If one side of a single crystal of pure semiconductor, germanium or silicon, is doped with acceptor impurity atoms and the other side is doped with the donor impurity atoms, a PN junction is formed. P region has a high concentration of holes and N region contains large number of electrons. As soon as the junction is formed, free electrons and holes cross through the junction by the process of diffusion. During this process, the electrons crossing the junction from N region into the P region recombine with holes in the P region very close to the junction. Similarly, holes crossing the junction from the P region into the N region recombine with electrons in the N region very close to the junction. Here we can see in the diagram, in a p-type semiconductor, uniformly distributed holes are majority carriers, and in n-type semiconductor, uniformly distributed electrons are majority carriers. When p-n junction is formed, holes and electrons come closer together at the junction. Some free electrons from the n side cross the junction and combine with the holes on the p side. We say that they diffuse across the junction. That means flow from a region of high carrier concentration to one of the lower concentration. When the carrier migrate from one region into the other, they leave behind ion of opposite polarity. For example, when an electron migrates across the junction from N region to P region, it leaves behind an atom having deficiency of one electron and it becomes the positive ion. Similarly, a hole migrates from P region to N region. An atom in the P region becomes a negative ion. Such created ions are immobile in nature. Before the charge carriers diffused across the junction, both the N-type and the P-type material were electrically neutral. However, as negative ions are created on the P side of the junction, the region of the P side close to the junction acquires a negative charge. Similarly, the positive ions created on the N side give the N side a positive charge. The accumulated negative charge on the p side tends to repel electrons that are crossing from n side, and the accumulated positive charge on the n side tends to repel holes crossing from the p side. Thus, it becomes difficult for more charge carriers to diffuse across the junction. The final result is that a barrier potential is created across the junction, negative on the p side and positive on the n side as shown in the figure. The electric field produced by the barrier potential is large enough to prevent any further movement of electrons and holes across the junction. The potential at the n side is higher than the potential at the p side, and similarly, holes in p side find themselves at a lower potential and are prevented to cross the n side. By considering the doping concentrations, electronic charge and temperature, it is possible to calculate the magnitude of the barrier potential. Typical barrier potential at room temperature are 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon. The movement of charge carriers across the junction leaves a layer on either side which is depleted of charge carriers. This is the depletion region. On the N side, the depletion region consists of donor impurity atoms which have lost the free electrons associated with them and have thus become positively charged. On the p side, the region is made up of acceptor impurity atoms which are negatively charged because of losing the holes associated with them. So we have discussed all of these things related to the diagram. Next topic is forward biased PN junction diode. So as we have seen PN junction earlier, we have 0.3 volt as barrier potential for the germanium and 0.7 as barrier potential for the silicon. So here we are applying the battery. Whenever you are going to connect the positive terminal of the battery to the P side and negative terminal to the N side, so that the potential difference acts in opposite direction to the barrier potential, then the PN junction diode is said to be forward biased. Here the direction of electric field of depletion region as well as external electric field is given. When a PN junction is forward biased, the applied positive potential repels the holes in the P region and the applied negative potential repels the electrons in the N region. So the charges moves towards the junction. If the applied potential difference is more than the potential barrier, some holes and free electrons enter the depletion region. Hence, the potential barrier as well as the width of the depletion regions are reduced. The positive donor ions and negative acceptor ions within the depletion region regain electrons and holes respectively. As a result of this, the depletion region disappears and the potential barrier also disappears. Hence, under the action of the forward potential difference, the majority charge carriers flow across the junction in opposite direction and constitute current flow in the forward direction. Reverse biased PN junction diode. So basically, as we have seen in the forward biased junction, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to P side and negative terminal to the N side. Here we need to change the battery polarities, such as when the positive terminal of the battery is connected to N side and negative terminal of the battery is connected to the P side, it is known as reverse biasing. And because of that, the applied potential difference is in the same direction as that of barrier potential, and the junction is said to be reverse biased. So here in the diagram we can see easily the depletion region width is greater than that of the forward biasing PN junction diode. So as we have seen earlier, whenever we have the forward biasing, then the battery polarity which is positive towards the P side, they repel the holes towards N side, and the battery potential, as it is greater than the potential barrier potential, and therefore it is easier for the holes to cross the junction, and the same is applicable for the N side. Here the opposite occurs in the reverse bias PN junction, as negative terminal of the battery is connected to the P side. Therefore this negative terminal attracts the holes from the P side, and positive terminal of the battery attracts the electrons from the N side, and therefore the width of the depletion region goes on increasing. So this can be easily seen from both the diagrams. If you compare both the diagram, it will be very much easy for you to understand. When the PN junction is reverse biased, electrons in the N region and holes in the P region are attracted away from the junction. Because of this, the number of negative ions in the P region and positive ions in the N region increases. Hence, the depletion region becomes wider and the potential barrier is increased. Since the depletion region does not contain majority charge carriers, it acts like an insulator. Therefore, no current should flow in the external circuit. But in practice, a very small current of the order of few microamperes flows in the reverse direction. This is due to the minority carriers flowing in the opposite direction. This reverse current is small because the number of minority carriers in both regions is very small. Since the major source of majority carriers is thermally broken covalent bonds, as we have seen, the reverse current mainly depends on the junction temperature. So here I have given all the three diagrams together to understand the basic difference. The first diagram is forward bias diode. Here the symbol of diode is given. Diode has two terminals, anode and the cathode. The terminal near P region is known as the anode, whereas the other one is the cathode. So in the forward bias condition, we have seen that P region of the semiconductor diode is connected to the positive of the battery, whereas N region is connected to the negative of the battery, and hence the first diagram is forward biased diode. Here, as we have seen, the negative terminal of the battery repels the electrons in the N region, and positive terminal of the battery repels the holes in the P region. The width of the depletion region reduces. Coming to the next diagram, that is zero bias diode. Here no biasing applied. Biasing means whenever we are applying the voltage across its terminal, it is known as biasing. So we have two types of biasing, that are forward and reverse, and we have seen the difference between the two. The no bias or zero bias diode means we are not applying any biasing, not applying any battery voltage. So here, as we have seen, whenever we are connecting or diffusing the P and N region, because of the diffusion, the depletion layer gets formed and it has the barrier potential. For germanium it is 0.3 volt, whereas for silicon it is 0.7 volt. Then coming to the next diagram, that is reverse biasing diode. You can see in the diagram the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the N region and negative terminal of the battery is connected to the P region, and therefore what happens, the electrons from the N region are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, and the holes in the P region are attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery, and therefore the width of the depletion region goes on increasing. So here the PN junction diode acts as an insulator which can be considered as an open switch, whereas the forward bias diode considered as the closed switch. Next, IV characteristics of the diode. Now IV characteristics is nothing but current voltage characteristics. So the diode, the NP, that is PN junction, is given, and we can see here in the IV characteristics the x-axis is considered the forward voltage as well as reverse voltage on the left side, and y-axis is having the current. Therefore it is known as IV characteristics of a diode. So in this diagram, as we have already seen, the barrier potential of the diode, there is 0.3 volt for the germanium and 0.7 volt for the silicon. So until and unless this voltage is reached, no current can be flown into the diode. So we should have the variable voltage supply which has to be applied across the terminals of the diode. Whenever we are going to increase the voltage, once we reach to this specific voltage, that is 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon, no current can flow through the device. So this voltage is known as the knee voltage. You can see up to this voltage, very small amount of current is flowing through the diode. Once we go further, that means once we are going to increase the voltage further, the current starts increasing rapidly. That is the forward bias condition. And in reverse bias condition, you can see after a certain voltage, as we have seen, whenever we are applying reverse polarities across the diode terminal, then it acts as insulator. But after certain voltage, reverse breakdown voltage is reached, and at that time the Zener breakdown or avalanche breakdown occurs and very large amount of current flows through the diode. This may damage to the diode. So PN junction we can use only the forward bias condition. For reverse bias we usually refer to the Zener diode that we will see in the next lecture. So this is about the PN junction diode. These are some of the references, and thank you so much. I hope you have understood the formation of PN junction diode, and then the forward biasing, reverse biasing of diode, the different battery polarities, and finally I hope you have understood the IV characteristics of the diode. Thank you.